Hi guys, this is Avi, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you about different types of data that we use in C++. So let us get ahead with the first one. So the first data type that I'm going to talk about is character data type. So it is a kind of data that stores special characters, individual letters, and something like that. So you can just, if you want to if you want to declare the character data type, so you first need to write the type of data that you are gonna write, that is written as char, and then you're gonna name the variable. Suppose I name it as grade, and then I'm gonna set the value equal to a. So that is a single letter, and it's also known as a character, you can understand say. And then I'm going to terminate the line of code. So that is one data type. And the next type of data I'm going to talk about is string data type. We have discussed it in previous videos as well. So string data type is something that stores a phrase, a line of phrase, or of simple plain text. So for that, to access string data type, you need to type in as a string, and then you're going to name it. Suppose I name it as phrase, and then I'm going to set the value equal to suppose how are you, and then I'm going to terminate the code. And then the third kind of data we're going to talk about is integers. We have talked about integers as well. So many times in our program we might have to use integers as variables. So integers are the whole numbers, they are not decimal number. If you put decimal number in integer data types, they're gonna throw an error. They will not execute, because integers are not whole numbers, and for that integers are not decimal numbers, and for that decimal numbers there is a special kind of data type that I'm gonna talk about in the later video. So for integer, to access integer data type, you could just need to write int, which is a short form for integers. And then if I name the data type, suppose age, you can just now fill the data without any quotation mark, because remember I told you that a string data type, a string variable, you don't need to you don't need to use quotation mark for integer. So yeah, that's, you can write it as you can write it as it is. And then I'm going to terminate the value again, line of code again. And then the third and the fourth data type that I'm going to talk about is how you can use decimal numbers as variables. So for that, two kind of data types are there. One is float and the second one is double. So float basically is not common or popular among the programmers of C++. So you can instead use double. Double, it contains more points, more numbers after the decimal, but float doesn't. But float does not do it. So yeah, that's the difference between double and float. You can just now, if I name this if I name my data type, so my variable as suppose GPA, and if I put the value, suppose like 3.4 or whatever the value you want to put, so it is just gonna print. If I print this statement, then it is just gonna print this. So yeah, that is double data type for you. And then the next kind of data type is somewhat very different from them, and it's special data type. So it is called as Boolean data type. It contains true and false value. So many times in your program you might need to just get true or false value in your variable. So for that, Boolean is used. Boolean is just another name for true or false. To access Boolean, you need to write BOOL, which is the short form of Boolean. And then if I name the variable as is male, Then I'm gonna set the value as true because it is what it is in my case. And yeah, that is all about the data types in C++. There are many kind of data types, and if I just sit around and told you the whole list, it will be a waste of time. So you can just go on Google, type C++ data types, and you can just get started with many kinds of data types. But these are some of the basic and more common data types that we use in in C++. As a beginner, you need to understand these much only, but if you are interested, then you can just Google some more. So now if I want to print out any variable, suppose I can print out a phrase, and then if I just build and run this program, it's gonna execute the value of that stores within the phrase. So that is all much about data types, and thank you for watching.